YouTube. We finally have Kishimoto's brand new original manga series, ladies and gentlemen, and I have got to tell you, I'm satisfied with chapter 1. Now, I do have questions pertaining to the first chapter, but I'm just going to hold off on those questions because, in all honesty, it's chapter 1, and let's be real, I'm assuming my questions will start to be answered as the series continues and as it progresses. Now, as you all know, Samurai 8's art is completely different from Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. I mean, kind of different. You'll understand why. It does look similar, but, you know, let's just continue. That's due entirely to Kishimoto not being able to draw his art for his manga anymore due to injuries. The artist for the manga is none other than Akira Okubo. Now, Akira has done some work for Kishimoto for the Naruto manga, and from what I can gather, he started working with Kishimoto during volume 16 of the Naruto manga series. And just to put this in more of a perspective for you, volume 16 of the manga is the ending of the Chunin exams right after Orochimaru attacks the Leaf Village, and then, you know, the third Hokage dies, and so all of that's going down. And of course, Kishimoto is the author who is focusing on purely writing the dialogue and the storytelling and all that fun stuff. Now, getting into Samurai 8, the Tale of Hachimaru. The first thing we have to answer is, who is Hachimaru? Now, I'm going to keep the spoilers down to a bare minimum because I want this to be insightful for those who are going to go forth and read it, and I want you to also have the surprises and stuff going into the series. But I think it's important that I break this down for you and cover the key details and basically the plot of the series without giving away too much, because it was kind of confusing for me. I mean, it always is when I start a series that is manga related that's not in full color, because a lot of the things that were going on I had to double back and reread again just because I was like, what just happened? You see what I'm saying? Like, certain things in there just confused me. I think it's important that I break this down for people and basically just cover the basics in depth without going into and spoiling critical information for people who want to still be surprised. So this is going to be spoilers free, and if it's not, then I will be sure to announce that before I continue. Now, who is Hachimaru? Hachimaru is a spirited young boy who is aspiring to be a samurai. We are first introduced to Hachimaru as he emerges from playing a virtual reality video game that he actually created himself about samurai, which allows him to become one, if only just for that moment. So right off the bat, we see him for who he is entirely as his father takes him out of the game, and we get a good look at him. Now, Hachimaru, from what I gather, is a terminally ill boy who is confined to his house. He's so ill, in fact, that he has tubes running from his back and is hooked up to the house's life support system. He can't come off these tubes. That's why I say he's terminally ill. I'm not saying that just because of how he looks. It says that if he comes, if he leaves the house without the life support, he is going to die. Now, you may be asking, how does a house have life support? No idea. But this is chapter 1, so we're just going to let it slide. Now, there isn't a lot to talk about Hachimaru considering the fact that this is the first chapter, but other than that, he lives with his overprotective father. And we have absolutely no knowledge of his mother. We don't see his mother. We don't see any siblings. It is just Hachimaru and his father and this dog thing that is, it's a dog that meows. Hachimaru built this thing. I'll get into, it's called a pet holder, but I'm going to get into pet holders later. Keep in mind that this is a futuristic setting. So this stuff is just normal throughout the entire of chapter 1. It's important to reflect that Kishimoto, while he was writing this, he always said that he wanted to make a series about samurai in space. And this manga so far fits that bill. It's samurais in space. It's literally like ancient feudal Japan meets Star Wars, because that's the feel you get. And considering the fact that a samurai's mission in this series is to protect the galaxy, yeah, I stand by what I said. Nonetheless, the series is actually very interesting in chapter 1, and the characters are interesting, and you have their own personalities, and most importantly, from what I see so far, and this being the only read-through that I've done, they don't mimic the characters of Naruto or Naruto Shippuden, at least so far, and that's important, right? Because I'm not reading Samurai 8 because I want another Naruto series. I'm reading Samurai 8 because I want something completely different than Naruto, but I like the author, Kishimoto. So of course I'm going to at least give his work a shot, right? I'm not reading because I want to see another Naruto or another Sasuke or another Shikamaru or another Neji. I appreciate Kishimoto taking the time to make a complete new series and taking the time to give different personality traits to his main protagonist. It is possible that we will see characters down the road that are similar to Naruto, right? I mean, that's an entire possibility, but so far these characters, in my opinion, are very solid. The second thing I want to bring to your attention, either before you read the series or after you read the series, what is a samurai? Like, what the hell is a samurai? So, because I don't want to completely spoil chapter 1, I want you to take it all in the twist, all in the turns in the series, and how Kishimoto merges his points together. But there is an important aspect of samurai that needs to be talked about in order to fully understand the plot and the concept of Kishimoto's new series, and that is the samurai themselves. Well, first of all, we have to remember that there's levels to this shit. One does not simply just become a samurai. No. In fact, they must start off as a bushi, which in their universe is just a basic swordsman. It is not until you have proven yourself worthy and excelled through merit and accolades that you may potentially become a samurai, though only through the blessings of the warrior god Fudo. And once you have this blessing of a warrior god, you are tasked with bringing about peace to the galaxy and seek out the 7 keys used to open the Pandora's box. What is the Pandora's box? We don't know, but we do know that the warrior god Fudo placed inside the box the means to protect the stars from one that wishes to bring about destruction to the galaxy or the universe or the world. It doesn't really matter if it's the world, it's in the galaxy, and the galaxy is in the universe. So in theory, you got to protect all that shit as a samurai. Essentially, to put this in perspective, samurais are the most elite of the bushi. So just for comparison purposes, back during Naruto, it's an easy comparison. Back during Naruto, you had Jonin ninja, which are the elite shinobi. And then you had the Anbu ninjas, the Anbu Black Ops. Anbu are still considered Jonin, but they hold that title of Anbu, meaning that they are the best of the Jonin elite. The same concept is here with the Bushi and the Samurai. They are the elite and hold higher rank and skill. But I digress, and we're going to bring this back to Samurai 8. The next thing that is important to note, and the question that needs to be answered. So what happens when you become a samurai? Well, first thing is first. Get this. It's still cool. It's chapter 1. At least everything is being presented to us in the first chapter, which is incredibly important when you're setting up your storyline. I would be upset with Kishimoto if he introduced these concepts later down the road at chapter like 50 or something. I'd be upset with you. So, first things first. Once you become a samurai, once you receive the blessing from the warrior god Fudo, your body is completely replaced and you are now given a cyborg body. So your human body is cast away and you are now given a cyborg mecha body. Don't ask me, fam. I have absolutely no idea, but this is Kishimoto's world and I'm just running with it. Within this cyborg body, the foundation is something called a ki. That is basically your central nervous system. The ki is what is keeping you alive. Now, this ki is said in chapter 1 to resemble a spinal cord, and is used as a memory unit for all samurai, and around it, all cyborg parts are constructed. What does this mean, family? It means basic level attacks won't kill a samurai, and they absolutely won't do shit against them. You need a samurai to defeat a samurai, or just, that's the only way we saw a samurai go down. Spoilers. Because we see this throughout chapter 1, a fight between samurai, and then you get they get shot, they get arms chopped off, they just regenerate that shit. That's another aspect about being a samurai. You can regenerate your arm being cut off. That's to the extent that we have seen within chapter 1. We see arms get cut off and they regenerate. One person got shot, he's alive. You know what I'm saying? He says, yo, this shit is not going to kill me. What are you worried about? So to become a samurai means that you will feel little to no pain and you can regenerate. Let's move on. Weapons and combat system. This is very important. Like, Kishimoto is very good with his combat systems. He's very good with his, not necessarily weapons, but we've seen him with his combat system with the chakra, the creation of chakra and the hand signs. Hand signs really haven't been done before, at least to not the extent that Kishimoto did, but weapons and combat. Now, within these cyborgs' bodies, there are something called locker balls. They are referred to as the souls of the samurai. Now, these souls are extremely special to a samurai because each soul is the manifestation of a weapon. So the best example I can give you is think back to Shaman King, how they actually utilize the souls of fallen heroes throughout history to fuse with their bodies and manifest the weapon. That's exactly what we're looking at right now. But that's just for example. But unlike Shaman King, the Samurai and Samurai 8 are able to utilize any soul as long as they have the key, the physical key, which I just told you was basically their spine. So if a samurai falls, their key is exposed. If they have that physical key, they are able to utilize that samurai's weapon and manifest it, which you actually get to see during the last pages of the chapter. So in theory, samurai may be able to switch and buy different samurai keys, because it's also mentioned in the chapter that they would potentially sell a key that they found, which would fetch a very high price on the market. You're not going to sell something that someone, well, at least, well, not you, you might sell something you can't use, but I'm not going to buy something that I have no way of using. You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody has to have use for something for you to sell it. So it goes without saying that anybody can use any samurai soul or anyone's samurai's key. But realistically, they should only have value if you are a samurai. So they would be selling to another samurai. This next part I'm about to talk about is about what I mentioned above when it came to the pets and the pet holders, which is actually what they're called. They're called pet holders. This is by far the most confusing aspect of the manga, because the whole time I'm reading the chapter, I keep saying to myself, why does a pet holder even matter? Because if you think about it, after you read the chapter, of course, and maybe it's just me, but hypothetically, if you remove the pet holders from the story, it works just fine and the story flows normally. At first, I thought they were the manifestation of the weapon for the samurai, but like I said earlier, the manifestation of the weapon is the samurai's soul and the soul in their body. And to a degree, I see the need for one, because they do assist the samurai in battle, and they do kind of do a bit of everything for the samurai. Like we saw a pet holder for transportation, we saw him cause a diversion, assist with attacking. And one pet holder, well, actually we saw two of the pets, so there might be something down the road. Two of the pets turned into samurai armor, right? Because at first they're not wearing armor. Then you see kind of like this blobby morph thing where the pet fuses to the body and they get armor for the samurai. So there is that benefit, but I just don't know. I mean, it's an interesting aspect. I mean, you could take it out and it wouldn't matter, but if you keep it in, it doesn't really matter. It was just confusing to me at first. That's why I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention here, in case they were having the same questions that I was having. I don't know, maybe I just need to look harder next time. Y'all probably gonna be like, Hugo, what? Of course that's what they do, but maybe it's just me. But that is all in all what I have for the first chapter. You know, Hachimaru is a very interesting character. The only gripe that I really have with it, and I wanted to say this for the end, was leading up into this point, Hachimaru was a wimp. Like, and not just because he was sick, he was a legitimate wimp. Like, he got hurt extremely easy. He could barely stand, but that was because of the illness that he had. But I mean, he said it out of his mouth himself. He doesn't like sharp objects. He doesn't like being cut. When he was receiving his liquid diet from his father, like, he couldn't even take the needle going in his arm. You see what I'm saying? So, and he had absolutely no fighting experience at all. And I can't say what I want to say without spoiling the ending, but like, I'm just going, you should already be able to tell what I'm going to say. He has no fighting experience at all, and he did what he did. Like, no fighting experience, no training. I don't think he's ever used a sword before in his life. I'm just saying But that is all I have for you today with this video. Let me know what you think, and if you have started Samurai: The Tales of Hachimaru yourself, what do you think? Will this manga surpass Naruto and Naruto Shippuden? Is Kishimoto just a one-hit wonder? Everybody knows that, but Naruto is his more noticeable series. So tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and like always, keep it safe, wrap it tight. I'm out.
pacified. Government forces take the win.